Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Want to talk today? Let's just get comfortable here. Talk about silver. The market's absolutely going haywire. It's incredible. The price has ticked down a little bit, right? We're in the $19 range, and exactly what I thought was going to happen is happening, but it still blows my mind. About half a year ago, I started talking about that we were going to start seeing equities fall in September. We were going to start seeing things break apart in September, and that the fall of world economies were going to happen in the fall. Now we are in the fall, and it has not disappointed. Between the Japanese yen, the British pound, and the actual the yuan now, all these governments are intervening to their currencies to try and bring value. We're starting to see people diving into precious metals, right? Regardless of the price. And the reason why I say regardless of the price is because a lot of people understand where this is going, but it's actually a lot bigger than you think. Right now, the Comex is being drained as we speak, and the LBMA as well. Comex, I believe, is one of the lowest inventory numbers right now that they've seen either in all time or for sure in the last 5 to 8 years. I'm trying to remember. I'm seeing a lot of information coming out, where people are keeping track on Twitter and people on YouTube that are keeping track of the actual inventory numbers. But the point is this: there's never been a time in the history of the Comex where 1,000-ounce bars were being taken for delivery, right? 1,000-ounce Comex bars, and then later sold on online outlets to the general public. This has never happened before. The Comex has always done really interesting things where they've, changed rules to where you had to have X amount of contracts one day to be able to call for delivery and take those bars into your possession, and then they would make it so much more. You had to have 10 times the amount of contracts, right? My point being is that they've always changed the rules, but now there are a lot of big boys out there that are tied in with these online dealers, and they're actually pulling this stuff off, and they're either recasting it into smaller metals because it's cheaper now because of the cost of the premiums are going up so much on coins, or they're just straight selling these 1,000-ounce bars to the public. Now, I've talked to you before about my broker friend, and she said that the delays right now, as a matter of fact, one of the greatest products out there for delays, the biggest ones, are the silver buffaloes. And I want to say that she said 27 days out. Hopefully don't quote me on that, but it was a lot, right? And I asked her how people are feeling about that, and she goes, a lot of people are blown away, and they don't understand it. They'll take a shipping delay or understand a shipping delay when they're buying a new car, a $60,000-$70,000 car, or when Amazon says it's out of stock but they can ship it in 2 weeks, they go, oh yeah, no problem. But when it comes to precious metals, their emotions are really high. They're very scared. They're transferring fiat currency into real money, and they want it now. Now, she says there's definitely a difference between larger buyers, people that walk in and want, 150, 100,000, $500,000 worth of metal. They hear that and they go, no problem. We'll see it when it comes in. It comes in because they know they're used to larger transactions. They understand how the world works. But a lot of people are brand new into precious metals, which gets me super excited, right? A lot of people are learning about the fate of our currency, and they're doing something about it. But they're scared and they get nervous. I totally understand that. After a while, they're gonna be like, ha, I've been here, done that. But what also is really blowing me away is the fact that we have never seen this before. Premiums are exploding, like I said they would, right? Even as the price goes down, premiums are exploding because people are diving in. Now, I still believe that we're going to see a lot of weakness in precious metals in the spot price. Just like we saw in 2008, as the stock market really starts to cascade, everybody sells everything off, right? You'll see oil going down, you'll see gold and silver going down, you'll see everything going down. Usually that's when bond yields spike. But my point being is that what happens is the premiums explode. Well, right now, we haven't seen a massive fluctuation down in price, right? Silver, just recently was in the 20, 21 area, and now we're seeing it in 19, but we're seeing the premiums explode because there's so much buying. And that's why I believe that there's going to be a day, and Mike Maloney, I believe, coined the phrase, someday it'll be called unobtainium, the actual, that'll be the new term, because you won't be able to obtain silver because the prices shoot through the roof so much. We've seen 50, 60% premiums on products like Silver Eagles before. We saw that in 2015 when the market was getting really tight. But now it is a totally, totally different animal. Matter of fact, there was a time where you could actually see 100%, and that was when silver went from $19 to $9 in the year of 2008. But I couldn't go around to any stores in person and buy up a Silver Eagle for less than $20. A lot of the reason is because the sharp decline in silver happened so fast. Many people that bought stores, companies that bought silver, they needed to recapture their price. So they weren't going to lower the price. And that's what's really interesting to me. Yes, you might be able to make a few percent on the spot and buy a paper contract, but really in the end of the day, when we're talking about a collapsing currency, what is that worth to you? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to make money on percentage-wise on paper, you know, contracts like GLD and SLV, but there will be a day where that contract system is null and void because they have nothing backing it. And we're seeing that right now. The metal of the Comex that's there backing contracts like SLV is getting taken out. And there's going to be a day of reckoning where they're like, we're done, we're out. We're obviously just going to settle in cash and close this system because there's nothing backing it. Or they're going to have to do what they did in 2000 when the price of silver plummeted and everybody ran in to buy contracts. They're going to have to at least go out and buy some silver to back it at a certain ratio. And that's going to put even more strain on that because how hard is it going to be for them to go find 1,000-ounce bars of silver? Right now, it's hard just enough. The mint can't even stay up with production, or they can't produce enough to stay up with demand. So big, large companies that sell silver, like the big six that do direct dealings with the mint, they're now forced to go out and find silver eagles on the open market, which costs way more over a spot. So now they have to charge way more over a spot. I think it's absolutely mind-blowing to me. And that is why I'm positioning myself not only in precious metals, but I'm getting ready for that next boom. So I'm looking at the equities that are hated, the gold and silver mining companies that nobody wants right now until they all of a sudden they see Warren Buffett moving in. And even then, like when Warren Buffett moved in to buy the railroad stocks in 2008, 2009, where they were hated, a lot of people scoffed and they said, you're nuts. And now they don't say that. So when the next time you hear the next big billionaires moving in, which I've already talked about, they already are, moving into the mining equities, you'll understand why. Because you want to be a contrarian investor, you want to be opposite. Now I'm not telling you to go do that, that's who I am. I'm contrarian. I want to invest in things when they're cheap and then sell them to the masses when they're expensive. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of this. There's a lot happening in the precious metals markets. It's going to only get better. I got to go inside because I'm already sweating. It's super early. Ninja doesn't like the humidity. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.